Good evening, everyone. I am Mark, your fat friend,
And I'm James, your black friend,
and this is the Fat and Black Connection.
where we talk about anything and everything as long as it's interesting to us.
That's right, because if it's not interesting to us, it certainly shouldn't matter to you, because otherwise, why are you watching us?
Yeah.
We are live and interactive. It is July 29th, 2026, 8:02 p.m. Pacific.
Yeah.
On the left coast, west coast, nothing but the best coast.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Let's go.
We're trying something a little different tonight, folks. So tonight we're going to be looking ahead at three major stories. First, we're breaking down the biggest theory surrounding the new Spider-Man movie. Who is Sadie Sink really playing? What is happening to Peter's powers? Will MJ remember him?
Okay.
And could this movie secretly be setting up Marvel's mutant era?
Okay.
Then we're talking about Marvel's two big post-Secret Wars announcements that came out of Comic-Con, Ghost Rider and Black Panther 3.
Right.
Both sound exciting, but Marvel has been telling us that mutants will be the primary focus moving forward. So how do these movies fit into that direction? Finally, we're making predictions for both nights of SummerSlam.
Okay.
So, James, of the three things we're discussing tonight, Spider-Man, Marvel's future, and SummerSlam, which one are you currently most excited about?
I'm excited. I'm excited for the announcements that they made in Hall H. I watched clips of it and what I could, but I mean, with Spider-Man right around the corner as well as SummerSlam, let's get into them, baby.
Which one of these do you think has the greatest chance of disappointing you?
SummerSlam.
That'll be an interesting conversation when we get there. Then I suppose.
I mean, like Spider. Listen, I mean, the only way. I mean, like Spider-Man. Well, Marvel has actually been on an uptick at least now. They've been on more of an uptick, so I'm really hoping that with these next few years that that's where we're heading in a better direction. So,
all right, well,
we'll see. All right, let's talk. What you said, theories?
So, what is Marvel hiding?
Yeah,
the most interesting thing about the new Spider-Man movie is not simply who the villain might be or villains.
Right.
It appears that Peter Parker himself may be changing. He spent years completely isolated. MJ and Ned no longer remember him. So this is 4 years after the last film. He has apparently devoted his entire life to being Spider-Man, and now something may be happening to his body and powers.
Right.
That gives us several major theories to discuss. So, first theory I have is Sadie Sink playing Jean Grey.
So, I mean, maybe, but the thing is that that has been the theory. That has been the theory all along from a lot of people, a lot of Marvel fans on the internet. That's what they've been speculating. So
let's look at some facts.
Theory, yeah.
Let's look at some facts. Right, she has red hair.
Right.
Her character appears connected to psychic or mind reading abilities.
Right.
Marvel has been extremely secretive about her identity.
Yeah, they haven't really. I mean, actually, I haven't even seen screenshots. Have there been even screenshots of her or like pictures of her from set?
I think there was a very brief in one of the trailers, very brief screenshot.
And I don't remember. And did she have the red hair?
Yes.
Okay.
Marvel has said mutants will become the central focus after Secret Wars.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, we've only been introduced. It's like solidly to only one mutant, which is Kamala Khan.
No, Namor.
Is he a mutant?
Yes.
Was he? Oh, I didn't think. I guess because he was born. Well, whatever.
And we've also been introduced to Beast.
No, I'm talking about like the ones that like I'm talking about in the prime, in like 616.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, so for sure we know Kamala Khan, right? And if they're going traditional, then Namor is a mutant.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize. I'm not. I know
They never
Namor.
specified in that Black Panther 2 film, but
Yeah, I know Namor. I'm not like 100% sure on like his whole him being mutant and all that stuff. I've never.
but ultimately, if you're going to move towards very mutant heavy after Secret Wars, now's a good time to start setting that up. And introducing Jean through Spider-Man would immediately connect Peter to the mutant side of the MCU.
Yeah, and I mean it's another squad in New York. So
think about this as well, right? So because Doctor Strange erased Peter Parker from everyone's memory, Jean Grey could potentially discover that something has been removed or altered inside MJ and Ned's minds. Because as we know, the only person that could rival her abilities really was Professor X.
yeah.
And I guess Cable to an extent in the future, but really,
But, I mean,
like Professor X is really the only one that had significantly better psychic abilities.
Yeah, and if you go by storyline, I mean, they're related. So
what are you saying? Are you saying yes, she's playing Jean Grey or no?
I mean, listen, Marvel has been known to do this and then fake us out. So, I mean, she very well could be Jean Grey, or she could just be the MJ that like the Mary Jane Watson that we've never actually got in this Spider-Man universe, the actual redhead version of Mary Jane.
Would introducing Jean Grey in a Spider-Man movie, would it be exciting or would it take away from Peter?
No, I mean, I think it would be, because if anything, I don't think she would be I think just introducing her would be perfect but like it doesn't have to be like it doesn't have to be a big thing. Like it could just be like she's in a couple scenes and and she will be kind of that anchor point for later on, for the later on movies.
So, okay. Could Jean be the person? So I mentioned this. Do you think she could be the person, if it is her, who discovers that Peter has been magically erased from everyone's memory?
Oh, if anybody could do it, I mean, I'm sure she could do it. I mean, I feel like something sparks in her, like she ends up meeting Peter and like, wait, something's wrong. And then, she ends up kind of,
because for sure she'd be able to read his mind, and he would know, and he knows that he's been erased, and so she'd be able to pick up on that.
Exactly. So I mean, and that's if she's, because if she's young and doesn't have that control yet, how she kind of like is invading people's minds, not on purpose, just on by sheer accident.
So with that point, would you rather Jean be introduced as like an established X-Man in this universe that maybe we just haven't heard about before, or a young mutant who can't control her abilities yet?
I think because she's like, I think young mutant would be perfect because she's like in her early 20s now.
The actress, I don't know.
Yeah, I think Sadie. Yeah, I think she's probably late teens, early 20s, if not anything. Because I mean, with Stranger Things and everything. But yeah, I mean, I think that would be, personally, it would be a good way to introduce a younger X-Man, I should say. And then, you can kind of build, with the X-Men movie coming, depending on how everything shapes out in Doomsday and everything with the different universe X-Men, you can actually almost build a new team around her, because Jean Grey is one of the first. She was part of one of the first Professor X brings in. So
yeah, she's one of the OGs, if you will.
Yeah.
So if she is Jean Grey, why would her introduction be connected to Peter developing organic webs or going through some kind of physical transformation? Like, would they be connected in a way? Or
I mean, it could be, she, if for some reason they bump into each other and she ends up reading his mind or something, and she could accidentally maybe unlock something that's kind of laying dormant in him, if that's the case. I mean, and that could cause a change. But I mean, there's in Spider-Man, there was the whole man spider line where he started actually turning into a actual spider and stuff like that. So
you mentioned that you could see it potentially not being Jean Grey, that it could be just a big head fake towards MJ or something else.
yeah.
But I got to ask you, why would Marvel keep this character such a secret unless her identity is going to have major implications on the larger MCU?
Well, yeah, but at the same time, because they got all these theories and stuff coming out, and so that gives him nothing but publicity type stuff. So I mean, it very well could be Jean, and people have been right all along. It also, like I said, could be just an MJ, and they've just been playing us. But yes, I understand how that all works out. I don't know, but yeah, either way.
Well, I guess my thought would be Jean Grey may be one of the only people that's capable of discovering that Peter Parker had Doctor Strange erase him from everyone's memories, and potentially could be a person that could change that.
Or maybe just unlock it in certain people, like the people that, because she can see like, I'll make sure I unlock his aunt, even though she's dead. I'll unlock his two best friends, and maybe
all right.
I don't know.
Let's go down the path of you being right potentially, and that Jean Grey theory, it's a complete misdirect. So Marvel may know exactly what fans will assume when they cast a recognizably red-haired actress as a mysterious character with potentially psychic abilities. But like you said, could be an intentional misdirect. So there are some other theories as to who she possibly could be, right? So Sathara.
I don't know who that is.
Spider Queen.
Okay.
A modified version of several Spider-Man villains. A new character introduced to the MCU that hasn't ever been in comics, which I think is unlikely.
Yeah.
Or maybe another mutant with psychic abilities that isn't Jean Grey, and there are others.
Yeah.
So if you think about the Spider Queen or the Sathara theory, that fits perfectly to Peter's physical transformation a little bit better because they are directly connected to Spider mythology, mutation, rebirth, Peter becoming something more animalistic.
Yeah.
So here's my main question for you. Is Marvel using Sadie Sink's appearance to make fans assume Jean Grey when she is actually playing a Spider-Man specific character?
That's what I'm saying. I think that's a high probability.
But you're only thinking or leaning MJ, Mary Jane Watson.
That's what I'm thinking because just I'm going off of just redhead. I mean, but I don't like some of those other characters I've heard of, but I don't know really like what they look like or whatever. Because I think, but I mean,
let me ask you this: would you be disappointed if she's not Jean?
No, I mean, probably just maybe like a tiny bit, but at the same time, I like her as an actress. I've only known her from one other thing so far, but I do enjoy her. I do enjoy her acting. So getting her in the MCU, it's a big deal.
Would an obscure Spider-Man villain actually make for a better story because the movie could remain focused on Peter?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I don't know who, but like I definitely like another like an obscure villain could do it. I mean, it looks like one of the main villains is a guy that showed up in a video game. Like he did like he's not even in I think I don't know, did they add him to comics later?
He has been in since, yes.
Okay, so yeah, so I mean they took an obscure character from a video game that they made specifically for that video game. They've added him to comics, and now they've apparently added him into this movie, along with like Scorpion which they kept kind of the robot suit that they had in like Amazing Spider-Man. They kind of kept that robotic like looking type suits. That's side note. That's one thing I was a little disappointed with by Rhino, with him being in this like kind of robotic suit in Amazing Spider-Man. I was kind of like, bro, what? Huh? No, that's not the right look for it. But I was like, okay, I get it, because that could just be a whole. I mean, that's a different Spider-Man altogether. But like that whole kind of mechanical could be a link to Oscorp, which we haven't really seen in this universe. Could be a link to another version of Doc Ock in this universe. So either way, I'm with it. I dig it. But yeah, I think if she's some kind of obscure villain, that could be good too, just to again throwing people off.
Do you think fans are setting themselves up for disappointment by attaching a massive name to a character Marvel has not technically identified?
I don't know if they're setting themselves up for disappointment. Hopefully it's like something big, if it, but regardless, I mean, that's why I listen to the theories and then I just like, okay, we'll see. But well, like I said, I think if it's Jean Grey, that's cool. She's a great way to build a young team around a younger team for X-Men that can actually, move along. And then yeah, I think, and then with if she's like MJ, that could be cool, because that'll give him another love interest, but also kind of could end up being that pull between the one that he's in love with, and then kind of this new person coming into his life. I still think Ned needs to not be friends with him, and the only reason is because Ned actually turns into Hobgoblin later. But
well, I will say Marvel knows that redheads and telepathy are enough to make fans market Jean Grey for them.
Oh yeah.
So people are out there like us talking about it, giving them free publicity.
Exactly. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like you'll get people talking about it, and people are gonna see it, and so therefore they're gonna be like, oh, Jean Grey, what, blah blah blah, and then it could just, again, Marvel's very famous for FX. Actually, like I was telling you before the show, I was a couple minutes late because we were watching Infinity War, and in the trailers for Infinity War, it had Hulk in Wakanda running with him, and then we didn't actually get Hulk. We got the Hulk Buster, which was like, I was like, wait, huh? I remember like, and actually, so here's the only thing with that is that for a brief moment, it actually took me out of the movie, because that I'm just thinking back to that trailer. So sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, because like literally you can pull people, they think about what they've heard in the past, and then it can like literally, like I said, it pulled me out for just like a couple minutes. I was still getting the story and everything, but I was like, wait, what the? So yeah. Sometimes a good thing, sometimes a detriment. What's next?
What is happening to Peter's powers? The movie appears to be suggesting that Peter's body is evolving. Possible changes include organic webbing, which we've obviously seen, increased strength, heightened senses, night vision, more animalistic behavior, greater aggression, new biological spider abilities, perhaps. This could draw inspiration from comic stories in which Peter essentially dies, transforms, and is reborn with new abilities. This would also give Peter the ability to prepare for much larger threats in Doomsday Secret Wars without giving him another piece of Stark technology.
Yeah.
Instead of upgrading his suit, Marvel may finally be upgrading Peter himself.
Yeah.
So, my main question for you. Do you think Peter's changing powers are an upgrade or the main danger of the movie?
I think it's going to be both. Because like even we've seen in other movies when powers start to change, like they're like, oh wait, and it's kind of that they're learning to adjust to it. So he could be in a fight and all of a sudden, like, wait, I can't, I'm not sticking to walls, I can't move as fast, things like that, just because things are changing. And then later on, and he might get handled, but then, like, but that's needed to happen for this change to happen. And then he comes back and he's stronger and handles business like he's supposed to. So my call, I would say it's a little bit of both, because also Peter has been on his own for he's been on his own basically for the past 4 years, like you said. And so that's a lot. That's a lot that he's probably been going through and things like that. So I think with just, I don't know, I think with everything probably weighing on him, that also, like, the stress of things could be a reason why these changes are happening. And so he might overthink them and try and adjust or whatever and end up making a mistake. So like I said, I think it could be both. I think it will end up being both a detriment and a positive.
Would you like Tom Holland's Spider-Man to permanently have organic webs?
I preferably not. I lived with it with the Tobey Maguire ones. I lived with it because I was just like, okay. But I think with the web shooters, I think that kind of showed Peter Parker's genius, because he would make different web fluid depending on who he's fighting as well. So I think the organic webs cool, but I think the web shooters are for me is important, just because, like I said, he made different web fluid for different villains and things like that, depending on what was going on.
Do you think Peter needs to power up before facing Doctor Doom or whatever's going to happen in Secret Wars?
Yeah, I think he needs. I mean, he's gonna have to. If he's powering up, he's gonna play an important part. So, or I would assume he's going to play kind of an important part. So, I would think that him becoming stronger, becoming a better Spider-Man would be advantageous. And I mean, I think, like, you look at from the early ones when he is a kid and he's making a lot of mistakes as a kid. And Tony Stark, even, like, he's like, I don't know what I'd be without Spider-Man. And he's like, well, then that's why you don't deserve it, type thing. I don't know what I am without the suit. Then you don't deserve the suit, type thing. And you've seen him, but he's progressed and grown and gone through what he's had to go through. So I think that, absolutely, that him becoming stronger, because I think him becoming stronger will help him mentally, physically, and he'll be able to be the Spider-Man that I think that Tony really hoped he would be, because he said I don't want you to be me, I want you to be better than me.
Mm-hmm.
So and I mean, and the kids looking ripped as of now, because I mean, I know they were doing this and he was doing Odyssey at like the same time. So
well, I mean, technically they filmed Odyssey and then they filmed Spider-Man. They weren't at the same time, but
I thought they were around the same time. But they finished Odyssey and then he came to do that. But yeah, that's right, they worked with his schedule so that he could finish Odyssey and then come do that. Yeah, but no, I mean, like, yeah, he did some major work, and I think I definitely think that this could be, it's a brand new day. That the title pretty much says it all. So I mean, I think that'll help push him further along in his journey and story.
You think Peter could become so consumed by Spider-Man that he begins losing the Peter Parker side of himself?
I mean, that's kind of where that detriment comes in. I think it could start, and then that's kind of like the same thing that happened when it's not him getting the symbiote, but it's the same, like, kind of the same thing that happened when he got the symbiote. You know what I'm saying? He kind of started losing himself, and then he realized he had that realization. Wait, something's wrong, and ended up getting rid of the symbiote. But yeah.
Would you like to see Peter become more aggressive or frightening before eventually pulling himself back?
Yeah, I can see him being pushed. He gets to a point where he gets pushed to the edge. He gets pushed to the edge, and then he gets to that point, like kind of like what happened with Green Goblin, and he got pushed to that point, and then like the other two had to really like stop him because yeah, I mean, I would also be pissed if somebody killed one of my family, killed the only family that I really knew. And then now I'm out here and I have to make people I know that I care for and love forget me because of all this stuff. Okay, I'm gonna be pissed. But I think like with him getting these new powers and like he could start taking over, and then he ends up like almost going to that point and having, and then like it could be almost like we saw in Falcon Winter Soldier when US agent actually ended up actually killing the person, but like where he's like and people are seeing him and they're like scared now, like, and they've never been scared of Spider-Man. He gets to a point when they're like freaked out, and then it makes him he has that his spidey sense or whatever goes off, and he notices people are looking, and he's like, oh crap, like what have I done? Like, this is not who I am type stuff.
So Peter's lost Aunt May, MJ,
Yeah.
Ned, his entire identity.
Yep.
Instead of rebuilding his life, he may have buried himself inside Spider-Man. The transformation could be the physical consequence of Peter abandoning his humanity.
That very well could be. I mean, it doesn't look like he abandoned it completely. Like, he was at the end of No Way Home. I mean, he was gonna take the GED test, and
but that was 4 years ago.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying like, so a lot of the dreams that he had very well could have been, that he lost some of those opportunities. He should have been at MIT with Ned and MJ. He should have been, they should have been, doing stuff together. They should have been, everything should have gone. He had a plan, and he kind of had things almost plotted out, but because of how everything went in No Way Home, those plans had to take a major altering course.
Well, I think what we're going to find, and I'm just going to reinforce this, Peter's mutation may not be him becoming more Spider-Man. It may be the consequence of him abandoning Peter Parker.
And that's a good call too.
All right, you ready for the next one?
Let's go.
So do you think MJ is going to remember Peter by the end of this film?
I would definitely hope so. I mean, just from some of the little hits they have in the trailer, she's still very. I think she doesn't like it feels like she knows him, but she's like, why? Like, it's almost like a glimpse, like a glimmer type thing. Like, she's like, man, why do you seem so familiar to me? Type deal.
So MJ continues to wear Peter's necklace. This suggests that the emotional connection may still exist even if the memories are gone, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's several possibilities. MJ's memories are completely restored by the end. She begins experiencing fragments of her old memories. She senses that Peter is important but does not know why. She never remembers but meets Peter again and chooses him again.
Yeah.
Because we know that they're going to re-meet, right? Peter decides not to tell her because he still believes she is safer without him. I believe the most emotionally satisfying version may be MJ choosing Peter again rather than receiving all of her memories through magic.
Yeah.
So, my question for you, should MJ regain all of her memories of Peter?
I don't think so. I mean, I think I think if she chooses Peter Parker, and he doesn't reveal she's Spider-Man, or reveal he's Spider-Man, I think that will help keep her safe. One, in kind of a weird way. But I think that emotional, like you said, the emotionally satisfying part would be her choosing Peter again.
Yeah, because don't you think if we just restore that memories and everything, doesn't that undo the emotional impact of No Way Home?
Yeah. That was,
So
that was gutting, bro. That was absolutely gutting when like he went to the coffee shop and wanted to give her that note, but he just orders a coffee. It's like, bro, you had it. And so it was definitely gutting. And then I think it's also going to give a little bit more for when he's, watching his two best friends having the time of their lives, or apparently the time of their lives at college and stuff and things like that. So
at the end of No Way Home, we see Peter decides to walk away, right? So was Peter right to leave MJ alone, or did he make the decision for her?
I think a little bit both. Like, I think he thought he was doing what was right by her. He was choosing her, but he was choosing to try and do what is best for her. But I think in the long run, he needed to also kind of move on too. But I think everything should come full circle.
So does Peter owe MJ the truth?
He can give her pieces. I don't think he needs to tell. He doesn't need to tell the whole truth.
Well, for me, the best ending is MJ not remembering Peter. It's going to be them meeting, and we see that scene already in the trailer. I want them to meet again and her to choose him again.
Mm-hmm. Because, like, I think it wasn't until after she didn't realize it was. Oh no, she didn't realize it was him like a long time before that, didn't she? Like in Far From Home, didn't she realize that he was Spider? Or she admits in No Way Home that she knew back then.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Let's talk about some possible surprises and setups. So the film could potentially set up several major developments, right? Jean Grey or the new X-Men, the mutant era, Miles Morales, the symbiote reaching Peter, because we know that some of it was left behind.
Mm-hmm.
Peter receiving the black suit during Secret Wars that he'll wear. Dr. Doom recognizing Peter despite Strange's spell. Daredevil or another street-level hero could be in there. A connection to the hand.
That could also be with if he takes his mask off and that throws him because it's
mm-hmm.
Looks like
a larger supernatural or multiversal threat than what we've seen in the trailers.
Thus far? Yeah.
Peter potentially being recruited for Doomsday.
Very well could be.
So
I hope it sets up something with Punisher, honestly.
So Miles Morales may be teased, but introducing him fully might be too much for a movie already carrying several storylines. The symbiote,
right, but we have been introduced kind of in the very first, I think it was in Homecoming. Glover, he's Prowler, and he says, he's talking about the weapons, and he says, I have a nephew that lives out here. I have a nephew that lives around here. And with him being Prowler, that Miles Morales would be that nephew.
So the symbiote may be the most natural step because a piece of it was left behind after No Way Home, and Spider-Man traditionally receives the black suit during Secret Wars.
Okay.
So my big question for you, what's the biggest surprise you realistically expect to see?
Realistic surprise, I would think. Yeah, we've been waiting on that symbiote thing to happen too. So, I mean, this would kind of be a perfect time for it to, at least, it doesn't have to be like it could be at the end for all I care. But like where I think him getting that symbiote would be good.
So would you rather see Peter get the symbiote, receive the symbiote in this movie, or during Secret War?
Well, is that the thing is? Oh no, if he can. Oh, yeah. I mean, like I said, if it like gets on him or something, if we get like a hint of it, I'm okay with that. I'd be definitely okay with that. I don't need.
But you don't want to necessarily see full blown.
Yeah, I don't need to see full blown. But like that could be in Secret Wars for sure. But like I think just if him getting the symbiote would be at least like you see it. Like I said, it could be like an end credit scene for all I care. Just something like it like attaches to him. He's like, and it could like get on the black, and you see it kind of move a little bit, and then that's it. So like on the black of his spider on the back, we see it like kind of ripple or whatever, and then and then that's kind of it.
Do you expect Miles Morales to appear, or is it still too early?
I think it's still too early. Plus, I think because that would also, well, I mean, it could. It doesn't really matter, but it could intrude on that Sony with Sony's Beyond the Spider-Verse, which is still, I think, is actually coming out next year now. Finally.
Yeah, and Tyrus in the chat is asking, isn't there a stipulation from Sony that MCU cannot use a live-action Miles Morales? And I've never heard that before. I mean, of course, anything being used has to be done in concert with Sony, so they would have to sign off on it. But I don't see why Sony wouldn't want.
They could already have the kid in mind. Whoever they plan on playing him, they could already have him in mind, and they could he could get introduced. Like we might see him, we might not know who he is. We might not get like, oh, hey, I'm Miles or whatever, but we might just might see him in kind of a passing type thing.
And according to Tyrus, which consider the source, there are all kinds of stipulations how Peter Parker looks, and Mary Jane Zendaya isn't within the stipulations, which is why she is Michelle Jones.
Okay.
Can you put the bag away, man? You're killing me.
I'm just finished. I was killing that bag off, so yeah.
Good gosh. Okay, so could Dr. Doom somehow remember or identify Peter Parker despite the spell? Yeah. Because the spell, if you remember, was very specific to this world.
Yeah. I mean,
so the assumption would be that there is a Spider-Man in that universe where Doom is from as well.
Or he sees through the magical barrier or something, because I mean he's also he also masters magic. So
okay. So you mentioned possibly the end of the film, or maybe a post-credit scene, something to do with the symbiote. Are there any other post-credit scenes you'd like to see for setups?
I don't know. Maybe I don't know, because I mean, Spider-Man comes out, and then November, the remixed version of Endgame comes out, right?
Mm-hmm.
With the added and scenes and stuff like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, I mean, something connecting it to Doomsday would be very awesome, but I don't know exactly what I would expect to see.
So that kind of leads to my next question, which was, should this movie lead directly into Doomsday, or should Spider-Man remain separate for a little longer?
Yeah, let this one breathe. Let this one breathe, and I mean, he could definitely play a bigger, or it could be something where he gets recruited again. He could get recruited again, and the symbiote could actually be sad to say, not sad to say, but it could be something that Nick Fury is actually has and gives to him to like try and help him, be better. And then, it ends up kind of taking control for a little bit and then him having to get rid of it. That seems like a Nick Fury thing to do, in my opinion.
Here's my prediction. The main story focus on Peter reclaiming his humanity, while the post-credits scene will reveal that someone or something remains unaffected by Doctor Strange's spell.
Okay.
All right. To wrap up our Spider-Man conversation, I'm just going to do a final, kind of quick lightning round with you on Spider-Man. You've already answered some of these, maybe, but just really quickly, Sadie Sink is playing who?
I would hopefully Jean Grey, but I think it might just be a head fake, and she might just actually end up being Mary Jane Watson.
Does MJ remember Peter by the end?
I don't think she fully remembers him, but like we said, I think she chooses him.
Does Peter receive organic webs permanently?
I hope not.
Does Miles Morales appear?
Maybe in a just as we don't know who he is, or we might just get it might be a nod, but it won't be like a full on, hey, this is Miles Morales type deal.
What's that post-credit scene going to look like?
Like I said, I think something with the symbiote, maybe setting up something for Doomsday.
Spider-Man may be quietly introducing mutants, but Marvel's two biggest new movie announcements do not look immediately at mutant-related at all.
Yep.
So, with that being said, Marvel has repeatedly indicated that mutants and X-Men will become a major focus after Secret Wars. But two of the biggest movies announced for the future were Ghost Rider and Black Panther 3. Neither announcement immediately screams mutant era. That raises the larger question: is Marvel actually building a focused mutant saga, or are they already beginning another collection of disconnected stories?
So from what I understand, this is kind of this is a separate, it's an MCU movie, but it's kind of separate. That's just in a article that I read. So I mean, that could be just total baloney.
You read everything, you believe everything you read. So could Ghost Rider be establishing a full supernatural side of the MCU? We've seen Blade already reintroduced, and we know that they were going to make a new Blade, and that's kind of gone off the rails and sounds like may not be happening because Snipes was so loved coming back. Something be happening there. We've got Moon Knight.
We got Moon Knight, and we've
got Werewolf by Night, we've got Man Thing, we've got Elsa Bloodstone, we've got Mephisto, and the Midnight Suns, all of which have already been introduced in some way, shape, or form. Ryan Gosling is a major star and could bring immediate credibility and attention to the character. Yeah. However, the movie's tone is what's going to be critical. Ghost Rider should feel like horror, tragedy, supernatural western, a story about judgment, damnation, and vengeance. It should not simply feel like another humorous Marvel action movie. So here's my question for you. Does Ryan Gosling feel like the right choice for Ghost Rider?
I have no problem with him. I was a little surprised, but I think he can definitely make the character very grounded and give it the feel. I mean, this is a character he's wanted to play. So actually, somebody made a funny connection that his wife was in the first Ghost Rider with Nicolas Cage. So I mean, this is a character that he's wanted to play. So I think that, whatever it is, he'll put he'll put his all into it type deal. I mean, I like Ryan Gosling. You know.
So do you expect him to be playing Johnny Blaze, or could Marvel choose another Ghost Rider?
I think the consensus right now, through everything I've seen online, is Johnny Blaze, but he very well could be another Ghost Rider. And part of me thinks that they should make him another Ghost Rider.
Should this movie be rated R?
I think it could be. It very well could be. That would keep it. That would keep it with the darkness, and I think that would also that could make it that help with that one-off type situation that I said I saw in an article.
Does Ghost Rider need to be a horror movie?
I don't think it needs to be a horror movie because, like, remember, like the closest thing that we've gotten to a horror movie in any kind of Marvel movie was New Mutants, and but that was still that was light. I don't like horror movies, so that's the only reason I say don't make it like a full-on horror movie. But like I think they could definitely make it. I think they could make it rated R, keep it dark.
Are you concerned that Marvel could turn it into another action comedy?
I don't. Ghost Rider's really not that character.
Agreed.
So I don't think they need to stick to your source material. Stick to your source material. You don't need to make it lighthearted. You don't need to make it funny. I mean, yeah, you can have some funny things. Like I think Ghost Rider probably has some cheesy catchphrases. Like when he's, you know, he can probably have some kind of cheesy catchphrase at least once. You know, but I think if you keep it grounded, keep it dark, keep it semi-serious, mostly serious, and maybe like a few little moments here and there with like whoever, if he has like, I know, like I think Ghost Rider might have like somebody on the side, like a Bob, for example, but and they can be the funny part. But I think for him being Ghost Rider, I think they need to keep it grounded, keep it dark, keep it serious.
Do you think Ghost Rider should immediately begin building towards Midnight Suns?
They definitely could start building that way, and I have no problem with that.
Would you want Ghost Rider involved with the Avengers or kept in his own supernatural corner?
Keep it in his own corner. He could maybe like if they absolutely need him, they can get a hold of him or something, you know. But or he'll kind of disappear. But I don't think he needs to like fully be a part of the Avengers.
So if mutants are supposed to be the main focus after Secret Wars, why is Ghost Rider one of the first major movies Marvel's announcing?
I think just because they finally got it back. Well, they've had it back for a little while since they bought Fox, but I think they just needed kind of they kind of needed to find the right place to put it, and I think they're playing strategery.
Yeah, I mean, obviously a mutant-focused era doesn't mean that every movie has to feature mutants, right? But Ghost Rider could potentially demonstrate that the post-Secret Wars MCU still has multiple distinct corners, but mutants are the issue connecting society as a whole.
Yeah.
So I think Ghost Rider only matters if Marvel has the courage to make a movie that does not need the Avengers or the X-Men.
Yeah. I mean, because like we're getting an X-Men movie in 28, right?
Supposedly.
Yeah.
And I'll also say this. If Ghost Rider ends up feeling like Deadpool with a flaming skull, then Marvel has misunderstood the character.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, and Ryan Gosling, he, like I said, he can be funny, but I don't think, like I said, stick to your source material. Also, the fact that he's wanted to play this character, I think that helps too, because I don't know how much of a say he'll have, but, you know, you can be like, wait, I don't know, like, you know, because the director is the guy that he's directed or is directing this film is also the one that directed Fall Guys, and I think he did something else. But they've worked together previously, and he's a former stuntman. If they go with like was Johnny Blaze a stuntman? I don't remember if he was a stuntman.
That's how they had him in
Yeah, in the
Agents of Shield.
Okay, yeah. So like, because if like that's kind of like that's one of the origins of Ghost Rider, he was a stuntman. So if they go that route, I could see it because like, like I said, this director was a former stuntman. Fought his like, he even admits like Fall Guy was his ode to stunt people. Ryan Gosling was in that film, learned a lot about the stunts and everything else. And so I think that would also, that would catapult him to making this more of a like another ode to stunt people, but in more of a like darker genre form.
Well, I know one of the things you're probably excited to talk about. So, at first glance, Black Panther 3 seems disconnected from the mutant direction. In reality, Wakanda could become one of the most important political locations in a mutant-focused MCU. In the comics, Black Panther and Storm have an extensive history.
Yeah.
But Storm should not be introduced merely as a future romantic partner. She needs to be established as a major mutant leader in her own right. The introduction of adult Prince T'Challa could also tell us something significant about what Secret Wars does to the timeline. So, some possible explanations include maybe a major time jump, a rewritten universe, merged timelines, a different history created after Secret Wars, Shuri remaining Black Panther while T'Challa becomes king, T'Challa eventually making and taking the mantle from Shuri. So my big question for you, what does an adult Prince T'Challa tell you about what happens after Secret Wars, since this film is after that?
Yeah, I mean, like that's one of the big questions I had, because I was like, yo, like we just saw him. Well, not just, I mean, it's been a couple years, but we saw him as a kid, and so now he's coming back. I mean, I don't remember how old this guy is. I mean, and the stuff that he's done, he's been very good. The most noticeable one for me would be The Longest Walk, or Long Walk, or whatever. He was excellent in that film. So and apparently super humble. So that's very, so giving that same kind of Chadwick Boseman like characteristic of just being very humble and everything else. And like I heard a story. Like one guy was trying to say, oh, like she looked pissed. Like I can't remember her name right now. It's not popping off my head. But the one playing Shuri, she looked pissed when they introduced him. But I was like, nah, like they already. I saw a story earlier that when he got cast, the first person he called was her to say like, hey, like, like he wants to be good, and he wants to make sure everybody's good. And like, again, there's still some mourning going on with, the loss of Chadwick Boseman in that scene. But I think he's a great choice. I think this will be, again, like back to your question, I think this could show a time jump, because otherwise, that's a lot of years that you're making up, and you're jumping a lot of years. If it's not connected, if it's after Secret War, I mean, I'm okay with that too, but I think Wakanda needs to we need to see a little bit more of Wakanda, I think, in this film too. I think, having an introduction of Storm would be perfect in this movie. Because we haven't had really a good introduction of Storm. Even in X-Men Apocalypse, it was kind of a weak introduction to Storm. It was kind of like the storyline was fairly correct, but I think a better introduction.
Halle Berry's Storm was weak as hell.
I liked Halle Berry Storm. Like I had no.
I'm talking about, if you think about how she was presented in the films, it's pretty weak. Like
she was just.
She is there. Not the.
She was there. I mean, that's the thing.
Yeah, she wasn't no goddess.
No, I mean, she didn't have the goddess, but I mean, she was kind of that more like down to earth like version of Storm. But I think, yeah, I think if we're gonna introduce Storm, I think we need to see her in Africa as the goddess of this village type deal. You know, it could be near Wakanda, it could be kind of far from Wakanda, but something maybe triggers in Wakanda when her powers are, really unleashed type situation. So I think, but yes, I definitely think some sort of situation where we see Storm in Black Panther 3, that would be phenomenal.
So do you think the universe is going to experience a significant time jump?
Uh, I almost think it has to for this to work. Either like it's going to have to be some kind of some kind of timeline, like you said, maybe a rewrite, but something's going to have to make it make sense.
Should she remain Black Panther?
I think to start. I think to start, and then it's and then she gets to something happens where she's like, I can't do this anymore and do this. Like,
so should Prince T'Challa become Black Panther immediately, or earn the mantle over several appearances, films, if you will?
I don't think he needs to earn it. I mean, because it's kind of his birthright. But I think he needs to. I don't think he needs to get it right away. I think it needs to. He can. I think he does need to earn it. I don't think it needs to be over a series of films. I think it can be in this film. But like I think what needs to happen in this film, Shuri starts off as Black Panther. Something happens. She's like, I need to, like, I know this is what I need to be, but I'm not that. Basically, I'm not him, type of situation. Like, I'm not, like, I took this on because I had to, not really because I wanted to. I had to take it on to protect I had to protect my people. Now that you're here, I'm going to give you the mantle. I will still be here, doing all my science stuff and making sure we're all good on that front. But I need you need to take this. This is your birthright type situation. And then, yeah, maybe we have the, oh, wait.
I mean, you keep saying birthright, right? And I don't agree with you, because the Black Panther is supposed to be the king, and the king is M'Baku. So when you keep saying birthright, I think you either misunderstood the premise behind the initial Black Panther concept, or I'm not sure, because M'Baku is king. So
yeah,
if anybody,
he's not. He is king. I think because that's what they needed. I don't think he's not, but I believe like that the T'Challa's bloodline is the one that are the rightful rulers of rightful.
So are you thinking Prince T'Challa is going to come and like challenge M'Baku?
I don't think he needs to. I mean, it'd probably end up becoming that. Like, he'll need to challenge to take the throne. But I think like I think
what,
that
M'Baku's just going to yield and say.
I mean, it could simply just be a yielding situation, because he knows that he is the rightful king, or type of situation. He's like an interim king. So I don't think he'll give it up. I don't think he'll give it up. Like, if you want it, you got to come get it type situation.
So do you think introducing T'Challa's son helps to preserve Chadwick Boseman's legacy, or is it recasting T'Challa through an extra step?
No, I think it's, there's nobody that can be Chadwick Boseman. I mean, I think it is a respectful way to keep the character name, but also, honor the memory of the man.
So kind of dance around this a little bit. So this one's really a yes or no. Should Storm appear in Black Panther 3?
I think she should.
And would introducing Storm through Black Panther help her, or would it reduce her potentially to just a romantic interest?
No, I mean, I think it's simply getting introducing her. There could be a little moment, but like nothing has to be super explicit. And then that could come definitely later. But like if they decide to go that route, but I think if you keep it in the she's introduced as this goddess weather witch situation, cool. And then she ends up being picked up by the X-Men.
So I'm going to lead off with my strong take on this film as a whole. I really think Black Panther 3 may be Marvel's first mutant era political movie, even if X-Men is not in the title. And so what I'm expecting to see coming out of Wakanda potentially could become a sanctuary for mutants, a nation suspicious of mutants, an ally of Professor X, a political rival of Magneto, a competitor with mutant nations. They might even introduce what's the nation Magneto created?
Genosha.
There we go. Could ultimately become a battleground over mutant resources and technology. And the more likely, the location where Storm emerges as an international figure. I think this allows Black Panther 3 to become a major mutant era political story without simply functioning as an X-Men movie.
Actually, I like that take. I do like that take. That's a good way. I think that would be a good way to progress Wakanda. They have opened themselves up to the world a little bit more. So I think, as a sanctuary, that could, it could become a sanctuary. It could be kind of the start of Genosha. What's that? Where's that? Is that an island? The one that where like the Badlands or whatever that had like still had the dinosaurs and stuff on it. Was that an island?
Yeah, you're talking about where is that where his keys are from there? Is that it's Marvel
or wherever that was? Like there was a whole thing of them there was a whole like a couple times they went there in the animated series. So
I know what you're talking about. Like there's the pterodactyl guy.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's wrap up Marvel, shall we? So a couple final questions for you. Which movie is more important to Marvel's future, Ghost Rider or Black Panther 3?
I think Black Panther 3.
I agree. Which one has the greater chance of failing?
Ghost Rider.
I agree. Which one is more likely to directly connect to the mutant era?
I think with what we kind of talked about with Black Panther 3, I think it will be there. And again, they could throw a couple. They could very well add something into Ghost Rider as well. But I think that the overarching story, I think Black Panther 3 will be the one that pushes it a little bit more.
What mutant project must Marvel announce next?
Oh, the X-Men for sure.
Straight up X-Men, or could it be something like Professor X film?
No, I don't. No, I think we just need to jump. We need to, like, we can get some of these people introduced, and that's fine. But I think overall, I think we need to get
Well, let's assume coming out of Battle World that we're still on Earth 616. That ends up being the Prime Universe continuing on. As far as we know, in our current universe, unless they figure out a different way to introduce it, there have not been mutants. There has not been Charles' School for the Gifted, right? So you want to jump right in because you have all of this past experience with 20th Century Fox and everything. But unless those are the ones that are carrying forward.
I'm also just like, I've been like, I thought personally, I felt the new, like when we had the, like the First Class movies, I thought those were going to be the ones that kind of ended up taking off, but they kind of faltered because I think they tried to do too much too quick.
So ultimately, you think the next mutant project must be X-Men itself?
I think so. I mean, and it doesn't have to be, and it could be, it could be, in my opinion, it could be the, you've found these people. So you have, like, if she ends up, Sadie Sink ends up playing Jean Grey, you have Jean Grey. If we get somebody playing Storm in Black, so you got two, like Storm wasn't technically an original, but whatever, I could roll with that. But you have, so you have, and so you're bringing them in, and then you have a couple others that that either you introduced, you kind of drop them in here and there to kind of create the team that way, or you have the school, and Charles is, I don't know, I don't know if we, like, do we need a new Charles? Yeah, I guess we would need a new Charles Xavier depending on how everything works out. But you got to make sure that he's finding these people and he's pulling them into his school so they can to form this team. And actually, personally, I think it could go almost an Avengers route where they don't immediately get along.
Here's where I'm gonna say I disagree with you. I think that I would love to see a period piece set World War II time, and we had that with Cap, and you can have some of that stuff that's in the background, but with Magneto set up, and you can get some early Charles, and I think really establishing those two over the course of a film with just them, their youth, their friendship that they developed in their teens, 20s.
So you're talking about, so basically you're talking about rehashing the X-Men Origins film that never happened, which is supposed to be that.
Yeah.
There was supposed to be an X-Men Origins film about Professor X that never happened.
Yeah.
Because the first Origins film flopped. Well, yeah, it didn't do well because they screwed it up.
Yeah, I think if you're going to go into the mutant saga, you have to set it up, because if you're going to stay true, where does Magneto really get his aggression towards humanity because of what happened in World War II? Unless you're going to use something else and have him be, rewrite the backstory on these characters.
Yeah, you can't really. No, you can't really.
You can, right? It could be, his parents died on 9/11, or you know what I mean? Like,
no, I don't think that's necessary. I think keeping it grounded in, like.
Now the flip side to that conversation becomes, if you go that route and they are that old, you can't have them in this universe much longer, because by 2028, 2029, if they were born in 1940, they would be 90 plus years old.
Yeah, yeah. So maybe they might have to move it up to something else.
Yeah, and I'm sure you can. There are ways to do it. I just feel like unless you do something similar to like what happens with Cap, where they get put under ice and they're put in suspended animation. Again, you could do those things. Those aren't outside the realm of possibility. But I feel like if you really want to set up the mutant saga truly, you've got to have that backstory that really establishes why are there two distinct factions? Why are there the X-Men? Why is there Magneto's crew, right? Like
the Brotherhood.
Yeah. If you don't set that up, then
and actually the crazy thing is we haven't seen the Brotherhood since the first X-Men movie.
Correct.
We saw they had the Hellfire Club in was that first? No, that wasn't First Class. Yeah, it was First Class.
No, you had the Brotherhood kind of still in X-Men 3.
No, I'm talking about. Okay, yeah. So but I'm talking. Oh, you know what? We had there was a Brotherhood in like X-Men 3, but then like when we had like the new X-Men film, so we had like X-Men First Class and Apocalypse, Days of Futures Past, and Dark Phoenix. That was the only. I think the only time we really saw it wasn't the Brotherhood, it was like the Hellfire Club, which was in First Class, I think. with Emma Frost and the whatever Kevin Bacon was playing.
So, would you say that these announcements are these evidence of a strong world building, or are they evidence that Marvel is already spreading itself too thin again?
Well, it looks like they're spreading stuff out, so it's not like they're trying not to box themselves in. So I think that the time, they're looking like they have. I mean, this, with the exception of this, they have they have 3 movies coming out, but one of them is just one of them is pretty much kind of a re-release situation. And then it's like they have a couple. I know Vision Quest is supposed to come out like before Doomsday, but with no connection. And I think that's it for then. And then I think then it's a little while before they have the Ghost Rider and Black Panther 3.
Well, and Vision Quest is supposed to be the closing out of that trilogy of series, right? Between WandaVision, Agatha, and now
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't think they're spreading themselves too thin. I think they're being very strategic with it. Like, they're like, okay, cool, we do these, cool. Then we get these done, cool. We move on to these, and we'll have this here. But this is its own. It's kind of its own thing right now. So I think what they're doing, they're not spreading. I think that's something they've also learned. I think they're not trying to jam all this stuff in. They're actually kind of expanding the timeline.
Well, here's my final position on where I think we are right now. Post-Secret Wars era should not consist of entirely X-Men movies. However, mutants should feel like the social, political, and cultural issue affecting every corner of the MCU. Ghost Rider can represent the supernatural world. Black Panther can represent international politics. Spider-Man can represent everyday human perspective. And the X-Men can remain the central mutant perspective connecting everything. Marvel's trying to determine who its next generation of characters will be. WWE is facing the same question at SummerSlam. So we're going to transition now into our SummerSlam predictions. Okay. So for this segment, we're going to go through every single match on both nights. We're going to start with Saturday. The way that I have these laid out are in the order that I think they're going to appear on the show.
Okay.
What I want from you, I'm gonna talk through my thoughts, and then what we're gonna convey in every match is who the winner is, what's the finish, what our confidence level about how the match is gonna be on a 10-point scale, and what happens next. Sound good?
Yep.
All right. Up first, opening Saturday night, CM Punk versus Cody Rhodes.
Sorry, you think this is opening?
I think this is going to be our Saturday night opener.
Oh, okay.
So I'm saying CM Punk wins. I think he's going to win by countering a Crossroads into the GTS. I feel like this match is going to be a 6 out of 10. And the aftermath, Cody's going to begin moving toward being a heel.
Good. Yeah, see, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I think a normal Cody loss followed by a respectful handshake, it's going to feel like a missed opportunity. Something about Cody's character needs to change. He does not necessarily need to complete a heel turn immediately, but he should show frustration, resentment, or willingness to cross the line.
See, that's the only thing. I feel like this needs to be later, and I think that I almost need Sami Zayn. I almost need Sami Zayn to interject himself in this match.
So you think?
Because I know because he's supposed to. Well, so that number one, he has the number one contendership match.
That's on Sunday.
Oh, that's on Sunday. Damn. Oh, see, that's a problem. So yeah, I mean, I guess I'm gonna have to go with that because I really wanted Sami Zayn because I think they just the way they did that, it was just super disrespectful. You had him win, and then Cody gets hurt. You bring back CM Punk out of nowhere, and he gets a title opportunity. It's like, bro, what? I was not happy with that.
So who's gonna win this one?
Anyways, I agree with you. I think CM Punk needs. I think CM Punk has to win this match.
How is he going to win? What's the finish?
Well, actually, damn, bro, I'd almost like to see an Anaconda Vice.
You think Cody taps?
I think Cody needs to tap. Cody hasn't tapped. Like I think Cody needs to tap out, and that's what the fact that he had to give up is what kind of sends him spiraling. We definitely need something from Cody Rhodes. I'm tired of this. I mean, yes, I know kids love him and stuff like that, but for your adult fans, for your older fans, you need something to happen with him. You can't. This is because otherwise we're going to run into the same problem you had with John Cena. You had him as this face for so long. You brought him back. He's had a good run. I think he needs to lose. I think he needs to lose. He needs to lose in kind of a humiliating way, and tapping out for him would be a humiliating way. And I think therefore that's what kind of sends him kind of spiraling a little bit. And yeah, I would agree with you. I think probably 6.5, closer to 7, probably for me, like a 6.7, 6.75. But I think this should be a good match, but I do not think this will be starting. I'm just throwing that out there. I don't think this will be starting.
You don't think this will be the opener?
Mm-mm. I don't think so. I think
without discussing the rest of the show, where do you think it will be?
This has main event for me.
Okay.
Because the other big championship is happening.
You'll see Sunday. What I have in the main event, and when we get there, you'll agree that I was right. So
okay.
So you said like a 6.75. So the aftermath, you agree that you think Cody's going to start making a heel turn?
I think he has to. One of them has to, because this whole "oh, I love you" type situation is getting irritating.
Do you think for Cody, if he was to be the one making that move, would it feel like a refresher to his character? Or
Absolutely.
Do you think it could be that WWE is giving up on him as being the next John Cena?
No, I mean, you need to refresh him. He's getting stale. Fans are.
I mean, John Cena got stale, and he just kept going. And
yeah, I know and I think they realized they missed an opportunity. I think they missed an opportunity with him there. And
so you still think they should have gone heel Cena much earlier in his career?
Much earlier, and then because the whole heel Cena thing at the end was like, you're forcing it. It was very forced. I liked it, don't get me wrong, but it just felt forced. I think this is a more natural, like, let him go heel, and then let him go heel for a little while, or not. Again, you don't have to go full heel. You can go like doing heel things. You don't have to go full heel. So you can still have some of the kids might be a little sad or whatever, but I think that's what he needs to refresh his character. He needs it. CM Punk has always been kind of he's kind of the anti-establishment guy. Like he's the Stone Cold without being Stone Cold. But like, I think that CM Punk or Cody Rhodes has been this AKA Golden Boy QB1. Like he needs fall from grace, man. Fall from grace.
All right, next up we've got for me, I'm saying the second match on the show.
I can agree with this one.
6-woman tag match. For me, I've got the winners as the Bellas and Paige. Nikki's going to pin JC Jane for the finish. I've got this. How do I feel about this on a 10-point scale? I feel like a 2. The aftermath, the returning stars, if you will, they're going to move toward another match with Fatal Influence at Survivor Series, and this might build out to our Survivor Series or War Games female match.
That could be, yeah, I feel that.
obviously, I'm going with the Legends winning. The question is whether the younger talent benefits from the attraction or simply becomes background material for returning names.
Yeah, this is. I'm gonna disagree with you here. This is what I'm gonna disagree with you. I do like the idea of the whole, this is setting up for war games, but I think that Fatal Influence needs this. I think that JC Jane actually pins Paige. Paige, then the Bellas at the end of the match turn on Paige. I had a feeling, I think we talked about this before. The Bellas always do this.
If you do that, how do you explain the tag titles, which they still
hold? The Bellas are going for the tag titles. That's what they were supposed to be.
But that's not who won. Paige won the title, so she is one of the title holders.
I understand that.
So how do you
That's what I'm saying. They break that up, and then Nikki and Brie go for the titles.
No. But my point is, so I'm confused now. So you're saying
JC Jane pins Paige.
I got all of that, but my question is about if the Bellas attack Paige, because the titles aren't on the line here,
right?
So currently, title holders are Nikki and Paige.
No, Brie and Paige. And they're not, they don't hold the titles.
Yes, they are the tag team champions.
No, they're not.
When did that happen?
On Monday. Monday. Or no, a couple days. Well, Saturday main event. So they lost to Fallon Henley and
they lost
Reed.
the titles? I must have completely missed that. Okay, then never mind. I guess you could be right then.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They lost the titles.
Well, and the reason why I think you may be heading down the right path is because if you're right, what that could potentially set up is a future tag match again with Paige and AJ Lee against the Bellas.
That could, yeah. I'd be down with that. Because they were cool.
So then your 5 for the women's war game could be Fatal Influence and the Bellas.
Yeah.
Interesting. That does make me think differently.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think Fatal Influence wins this. They are the tag champions. That's what I'm saying. They're the tag champions now. So, which I also think was kind of asinine, but for this, when we're talking about this makes sense to me. So they lose or they win. JC Jane pins Paige, or actually that probably may be the only, because she's the only one without a title now. So she pins Paige, and then the Bellas turn on Paige, and then they're going for the why did you turn on Paige type situation, and then that turns into a thing, and then but their main focus is getting the tag team titles together.
Okay.
Not having somebody step in for the injured. Yeah.
I can follow.
And that's again, they've done that. They've done that plenty of times before.
Next up, we've got Gunther versus Nick Aldis.
I'm just gonna pop in real quick. I need Nick Aldis to win this one.
So my point.
I'm sorry. Oh, sorry. Last match. I'm gonna give that a 3.
Aldis does not need to win this. He needs to remind audiences that he is a legitimate world-class wrestler and not merely an authority figure. The match should be competitive, but Gunther should ultimately remain dominant, in my opinion. So my winner is Gunther via a submission or referee stoppage. I'm not sure which one I'm going there. I feel like this is a match I think people are sleeping on, and I could see this being an 8 or a 9 out of 10. And I think ultimately coming out of this match, Aldis is going to earn Gunther's respect, but Gunther's going to move towards another major title program.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I think. Yeah. I mean, I have not been a fan of Gunther for quite some time. So he's just been kind of an irritating character as of recent, and he hasn't done anything to really grow. Um, and yeah, I think Nick Aldis needs to remind people, like you said. I think he like, and he even said it the other day. I am a wrestler. Like, don't get it twisted. Just because I haven't had a match in 3 years, don't get it twisted. And so, but yeah, I mean, I mean, just for me personally, I would like to see him win, and actually then like kind of just then that like in essence almost beating the respect into Gunther.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize he was a TNA champion. He, of course, over there he was called Magnus, but he was very talented wrestler, and I can't imagine just because he hasn't had a television match in 3 years.
I actually thought we were moving towards this. It was going to be him versus Randy Orton, because that's the way it kind of been going before, like a while back. But we didn't get that match. So this was, I think they had to kind of pivot, and they were like, yeah, we want to do this, but we need to figure it out. Yeah, I mean, also like the fact that Gunther, he just like, you push this man too far, man. And so I think with Nick Aldis, I would love to see Nick Aldis win this one, just kind of beat the respect into Gunther. And then, he's like, all right, cool, that's settled. Let's move on type situation. But yeah, no, this is definitely, I think people might be sleeping on this one as well. So, but yeah, I would agree with you. I think this could be definitely like an 8.
All right. Next up, round near mid end of the night, Women's World Championship. Io Sky challenging Liv Morgan. The ongoing curse storyline should have a real payoff here.
Yes.
If WWE has spent weeks showing that Liv is cursed, it should directly affect the outcome of a major championship match.
Yes.
So, with that being said, winner, Io Sky. Finish.
Yes.
There's going to be Judgment Day chaos that's going to cost Liv Morgan.
Yes.
Liv is going to blame Dominic or another member of Judgment Day.
Yes.
But from a pure like match perspective, I'm giving this a 5 out of 10.
Okay. Yeah,
because
no,
I don't think they're going to give them a lot of time to put on a really good show. I think they're going to go straight to the shenanigans.
I think it'll be a little bit. It's not going to be a long match, but yes, I think it'll be a low mid. I'd give it about like maybe like a 4.5, 5. But like, yeah, Io Sky needs to win this. The curse storyline needs to pay off. Because Danhausen has a match with Dominic. On
Sunday.
On Sunday. Okay, yeah. So I mean, I think, yeah, definitely. Like, if Dominic doesn't come out, and so she tries to blame, or Danhausen does something, and that causes like they're getting involved, and then Danhausen shows up and whatever. It's gonna be kind of chaotic. Io Sky needs to win this. The curse storyline needs to play out.
I agree. So this next one was one that I highly debated putting in the number one.
Also, the Judgment Day put hands on Danhausen the other day.
So this next one is one that I highly debated putting in the opener slot, but figured this just doesn't feel right for the opener. And that is our 6-man tag match of the Bloodline 2.0, Jacob Fatu, Jey Uso, Jimmy Uso, versus Royce Keys, LA Knight, and Solo Sikoa.
First off, I'd like to say the new Bloodline shirts are hard as hell. Super hard shirts.
I don't even know what that means. What does that mean?
The shirt is dope. Like their new shirt.
Hard means dope now?
Yeah, like the shirt is hard. Like, as in, it's cool as hell.
I'm not sure how that makes any sense.
If you haven't seen the new shirt,
even if I had, I would not ever describe something that I think is cool as being hard.
Okay, whatever. Anyways, but yes, I think yeah. I mean, like I think this is going to be earlier, but
Where do you think this match is going to be?
I think this could very well be the opener. Honestly, I think this could be the one that opens the show because I mean
Like
they
I
do
said,
that.
I thought about it opening.
They do that.
Then,
They do that hour. I haven't seen it. Are they doing that first hour on ESPN?
I don't know. They haven't said
Because
it.
because I haven't seen anything for that, which is kind of odd. So if they are, this would be what I would use to start it. Honestly. But yeah, I do. I mean, this needs to be a little bit longer of a match because you got 6 superstars and you got 6 different types of finishers. You got to try and get off at some point.
So I've got Jacob Fatu and the Usos winning this one.
Yeah.
The finish is going to be Solo abandoning his partners and Royce Keys taking the pin.
Okay.
I've got Solo's relationship with his family becomes a central story after this match.
Yeah, okay. A little bit more, yeah.
I feel like this match, it's going to be a lot of high spots. So I feel like it's going to be, a 6 or a 7 out of 10, but it's going to feel probably sloppy as well. Any match that LA Knight's in usually gets sloppy.
Yeah. He's like, and that's the thing is like, I think LA Knight's super talented, but he's just been, it's like my brother that's been his biggest complaint. He's always whining. He's always bitching about something. It's like, bro, you are a better character than what they're making you or what you're there. I think he has more potential than they're really giving him. But we've also had this issue before where he gets pushed and then, because of something backstage, he falls, he gets pushed and falls and pushed and falls. And so this version of LA Knight needs to change for me. Here's love the megastar.
Here's my thoughts on the match, right? One team is obviously more unified than the other because one is family.
Right.
The other exists because several people currently share enemies.
Right.
That can work, but
it's never been a high point. Okay, give me 1 second. I have to. I've been holding this for a little while, and I'm about to explode. So I'll be right back.
Okay. Cool. I'm wondering if we should just be very quiet and listen and see if we'll hear his explosive whatever is about to happen. That is very loud. Now let's see if he washes his hands. Maybe he's washing his hands. I'm impressed. Was not expecting that. I was fully expecting him to just rush back. Since we are in the middle of doing a show. And we're live.
Oh, okay. Apologies.
I'm just proud of you that you washed your hands.
Yeah.
So thanks for interrupting my train of thought.
Sorry, my bad. I couldn't hold it any longer.
So going back to what I was saying, clearly here we have one team that's more united by blood, by family.
Right.
The other team exists because several people currently share enemies. That's not a strong selling point.
Right.
I do think LA Knight should not take the loss. And I also think Solo should not be directly involved in whatever causes his team to fail. Aside from what I do think could happen, and what I think is the most important point here is not who wins, it's whether Solo chooses his family. So what I could see happening here is that LA Knight and Royce Keys take things too far to the point where Solo stops them from doing whatever it is they're going to do to someone, not violently, like he doesn't physically assault, but he like stops or protects his family from further injury, which then of course then is he now going to the bloodline?
Okay. Okay. I can mess with that.
Because even though we've seen him like banter and argue and pew pew with his family, I think, when that moment comes and you see somebody is trying to destroy your family and probably one of his brothers specifically, I could see him having that moment of conscience.
Yeah. I mean, Solo something needs to happen with Solo because him on his own is like the MFTs was kind of weak in itself. And then, and I'm still a little peeved that they knocked out the MFTs, knocked out the Wyatt Six, but they didn't use the Wyatt Six right anyways. But that's beside the point. Again, I think, yeah. So something needs to happen with Solo. He's trying to go on his own. Solo's not very good on his own. Like when he first came to NXT on his own, he was good, but that's also because he didn't really talk. He let his fist do the talking. But I do agree with you. I think that I believe that the Bloodline will win this. I do think that Royce Keys would be the one to take the loss. Unfortunately, like my boy. I mean, I could also see Solo taking the loss. Like he ends up trying to stop something and ends up, inadvertently getting hit, and that's what causes the loss. But yeah, I do not think LA Knight needs to take the pin, but I also need LA Knight to stop being. I need him to man up and just let the Bloodline go. Because if he stays out of there, you keep their names out of your mouth, then you probably won't have to worry about them until maybe later on, like later on down the line, maybe you have to run into them again. But because I definitely do not need a Bloodline, and I do not need Bloodline in War Games again. We've had it, we've seen it. It's I'm good. I don't need to see that again.
So who's winning this match?
I think the Usos and Jacob.
And what's the finish look like?
Like I think it's going to end up being Jacob's going to take somebody out with the tongue and death grip. So they're going to be neutralized. Jimmy and Jay 1D, do a 1D, and then Uso splash, and that wraps it up.
Who's taking the pin?
Oh, I think Royce Keys is going to take the pin.
Okay. And out of 10?
Oh, I definitely think this could be. I mean, because like you said, it's going to be spots, a lot of spots. So this could be definitely, I think, probably like 7, 8.
And the fallout finally.
Yeah, I think Solo definitely needs to come, or he can begrudgingly come back to the family. LA Knight needs to just let it go and move on. You know what? Not gonna lie. Well, I know Fatu is dedicated to the tribal chief now, but at the same time, I would love to see something with him and Keys, like them tag together or something.
That's going to be a ways down the road.
I know that, but I would definitely like to see that. But yeah, I think that they kind of need to fully sever that tie. And I think they kind of have already kind of started doing that, but I think it needs to be fully cut here. And yeah.
All right. And for our main event of night 1, Hell in a Cell, Oba Femi, Brock Lesnar. Tell me where this match goes if not the main event.
Yeah. Again, I mean, I think that this is definitely. I would almost put this like before the main event. Like I said, I think Cody and but again, after this match, whatever match comes, if like the only reason I don't mind it here in the main event is because any match that came after it's going to be hard to follow.
So why would it not be the main event?
Yeah, again, I don't know. I just feel like that Cody, that match has been built up too. But between the Cody, actually, you know what? If you do, okay, if anything, maybe you do the Cody match before this match.
No, you never do those two big matches back to back like that. They don't do that.
Yeah, that's
You
for sure.
you've played the WWE games. You know that the premise is you build the highs and the lows throughout the show. You don't just have your biggest three matches at the end, right? Like this isn't UFC where your top two matches are the final two headliners. That's not how WWE does it.
Yeah, but yeah,
You think about WrestleMania, the opener for WrestleMania night 2 or 1, I can't remember, was
2.
Brock and Oba.
Yeah.
Right. So
in SummerSlam, this being this supposed to be Brock Lesnar's actual retirement match.
So to me, this is what this match should be. It should be a generational transfer. Brock does not gain anything meaningful by winning.
Right.
Oba can become a permanent main event star by beating Brock inside Hell in a Cell. The victory should not be lucky or controversial.
Nope.
It should be decisive.
Yep.
So I've got Oba winning this. He's going to survive the F5 and he's going to defeat Brock decisively. Brock's going to have his true retirement style farewell. And that's it in his home state and be done. And I think this is going to be when Brock wants to, he can put on a hell of a show. And I think that's what this is going to be. I'm saying this is going to be a 9 out of 10.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with you on the rating. Oba has to win this. It's because, like, again, passing of the torch, absolutely. They've actually, I think the fans really built him into a star. Like, he came in and he was kind of a star, but like the fans have really been the ones that have pushed him over. Brock doesn't gain anything. He can ride off into the sunset and, be good. He can, I don't think he doesn't need to pop up or anything like that. Just let him lie and let Oba elevate. And don't get me wrong, I think he's gonna take, both of them are going to take whoopings. They're not leaving this thing unscathed by any means. Both of them are there. There's going to be each of them are going to have their big moments, of doing damage. But at the end, yes, Oba's going to kick out of an F5. Brock Lesnar's going to lose it. And then that's when Oba's going to capitalize.
Yeah. This is not going to be a Hell in a Cell, in my opinion, where we're going to see them go on top of the cell. We're going to see, I guarantee you, we're going to see one of them go through the cage. I think that they're going to, one of them's going to get thrown through and they're going to fight outside the ring a little bit, maybe go through a table out there.
Yeah, no, I can agree with that. Because I'm not going to lie to you. When on Monday night, when Brock locked the door, I thought Oba was going to rip that door off the hinges. And
that segment was so weak. That's what should have happened. Either that or lift it so that he can come out, or Oba should have said something that pissed off Brock so much that he comes back and unlocks it and comes in, or
something needed that. But the whole thing with him, like Triple H was in there, like you bro, lift the cage up,
why was Triple H there? He served no purpose, literally. There was nothing.
Yeah, he didn't even really say anything for the way. He didn't say anything after the fact. Like, yo, like, what are you doing? Like, get your ass in here or something,
there was, in my opinion, there was no reason for Triple H to be in that ring.
No, I mean, because Pierce did everything. So I think that the fact of the matter, I think that, I thought that he was going to rip the door off and then, get Brock and throw him inside the ring or something. But the whole thing with the door staying locked and him just pacing around and then throwing the fake cops all over the place and then tossing the scale. I was like, bro, this is lame. Like, but yeah.
My final thought here is if Brock Lesnar somehow beats Oba Femi, then WWE has chosen the memory of a star over creating the next one.
Yeah. And if, he had the retirement papers after WrestleMania. So should have just honestly, I personally, before I was talking to some people at work and we were talking about Oba Femi and stuff like that. And we were saying, like, at SummerSlam, he needs to be going for a title. He was supposed to go for a title. I still think they should honor that title match after the fact. But I think this will really solidify him and, give him that and basically he's still earned it because I guess they said he threw it away or whatever, but he didn't. I don't think he should have. He really did. I think it's just like you beat Brock Lesnar, you're getting a title shot after that.
All right. Well, that concludes night one. You ready for night two?
Okay.
Our Sunday night opening match, women's ladder match.
Okay.
So we don't know who the fifth participant is yet. Don't care.
I feel like it should be Nia Jax because she's been getting screwed. She got screwed over twice.
I think it's probably going to be Julia.
I don't know who the last match is supposed to be.
It's Julia and I forget. But my guess is it's going to be Julia. It's a ladder match. She's more. She's not going to win it. So Charlotte is the safest choice if WWE wants an established champion to carry the division until Rhea returns. However, a ladder match is also an opportunity to elevate someone different. Does an interim championship solve a problem, or does it immediately create a secondary title?
It'll be a unification once Rhea comes back.
So, winner, Charlotte Flair. Charlotte's going to knock Jade Cargill from the ladder and get the title herself. And then the aftermath will be Charlotte eventually facing Rhea Ripley in an undisputed title match. But this ladder match I'm going to give, and this is no offense to the ladies, but ladies' ladder matches just are never as good as the men's. So at the best, I can give this a 6.
Okay. I'm not mad at that. Honestly, like, I think that this could be whoever, I don't know who that fifth person is going to be, but this could be a chance for like Chelsea Green's still very popular. I mean, I get it, but I don't. But I think because Charlotte and Jade are going to be like literally at each other's throats, I think this is a prime time for somebody else to grab the title. Yes, I do agree. I mean, they have to go up against Rhea, and so I think it needs to be. That's the only reason I think Charlotte is the safe bet here. But at the same time, I think whoever's in that fifth spot, I think them or Chelsea Green, I think that could be a big opportunity for them with Jade and Charlotte basically focusing on each other. Tiffany Stratton's already got the U.S. championship, so I don't think a double champion. She's not. But yeah, I Charlotte's the safe bet, but for some reason I think they might push somebody else. Because I think they might let that battle between Jade and Charlotte continue for a little while longer.
So your final pick?
Oh, like my final pick is either, I don't know, like I really can't until I know who that last person is. I really can't make a judgment on this one, to be honest with you.
I'm trying to see if I can see who, because like I said, I'm fairly sure it's Julia. Lash Legend and Julia.
Oh, yeah, okay. Oh, actually, maybe they push Lash Legend.
I think whoever it is that they push, and this is why I think it's Charlotte, is going to ultimately lose to Rhea when she returns. So I think
but I think I mean honestly I would like this because we've had them face each other. We had Charlotte win, we had Charlotte lose. So I mean, like again, I just feel that between Charlotte and Jade, because they've just had this bad blood brewing, which actually got both of them into this match, I think that boils over and somebody else takes advantage of it. And
this is why I'm saying I think it's Charlotte because or Jade, because one of the two of them wins it naturally, and if one of them costs the other, it naturally keeps them progressing and going forward with that storyline until Rhea returns.
Yeah, I mean, like again, I also I'm there with you. I think Jade, because Jade is the one that kind of injured Rhea, or apparently injured Rhea. So I mean that could be something else too. But I just think that those two could cost each other this match completely. And so
I'm sorry, what were you giving this out of 10?
Oh, I think I agree with you. I think maybe like a 5, 6.
All right. Second match of the night, in my opinion. Number one contenders match: Sami Zayn versus Finn Balor.
Oh yeah, that was confirmed. I was like, wait a minute, huh? Yeah.
Finn needs the victory more. Sami can lose without losing his connection with the audience. Finn needs WWE to begin treating him as a genuine world title threat again. Also,
Yeah.
the other thought in why Sami doesn't need to win this, the plan, as it's sounding like, is for Sami at WrestleMania, Saudi Mania.
Yeah.
So you don't need him to be in that world title match already.
Yeah.
He can get back to there. Maybe he wins the Rumble, which is a possibility, right? There's many other ways to get him to Mania without having him in that picture right this minute. I think Finn gains a whole lot more out of this than Sami does right now. So
yeah,
I'm going,
and that's something that the
to
Judgment
win.
Day, being a part of the Judgment Day, seems to sometimes, in most cases, seems to hurt you. So him being on his own, truly on his own now, I think, yeah.
Yeah, I could see there being some interference or Sami making a mistake and then Finn capitalizing.
Yeah.
Um,
That's what I think. I agree with you there. Oh,
But-
sorry. Let me let
No,
you
no,
finish.
you're fine. But ultimately, Finn's going to move into the world title program, I think. I think this, again, could be a sleeper match that gets us an 8 or a 9 out of 10.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think definitely Sammy, I need them to I need his character to change. He's been the same character since he started. But yes, I do agree with you. Like, I think that he'll regain the championship at WrestleMania. I think, yes, Finn Balor definitely needs this, because he's been in Judgment Day for so long, and there was a whole it just started falling apart and it wasn't making sense. But I think, yes, what will end up causing this match, he will be fit. Here's what I'm gonna say: at the end of the match is gonna be, he's gonna be in the corner. Finn's gonna be in the corner. Sammy's gonna come in for a haluva kick. Finn's gonna get out of the way. Sammy's gonna get out, turn around. He's gonna get that drop kick into the turnbuckle, and Finn's gonna climb and hit a coup de grace, and that ends the match.
Out of 10?
Oh, yeah, this could be a good one. You got two very good wrestlers in that ring, so I think, yeah, this could definitely be a 8.5, 9.
All right. Next one. Penta versus Chad Gable.
It's another one I think that could be a sleeper.
Gable winning in his hometown could create a major moment.
Yep.
The question is whether WWE is presenting genuine redemption or preparing another reveal that Gable has not changed.
Okay. Oh, that would be weird.
Now, Chad Gable winning only matters if WWE finally stops treating his success like a joke.
Yeah.
So I'm going with Chad Gable to win this.
Yeah.
He's going to win through wrestling rather than cheating.
Right.
And I think afterwards he's going to go on a very serious championship run.
Yes, as he should.
And I think similarly to the last match, this one could be another fire match at an 8 or a 9.
Yeah. I definitely agree. I think Chad Gable needs to win this match. Penta's, don't get me wrong, Penta's been a great champion. He's had a great run. He's had his WrestleMania moment. He's had a number of great matches over his time as Intercontinental Championship, not Intercontinental Champion. He's Intercontinental Champion. Trick's US Championship. Never mind. But no, as an Intercontinental Champion, he's been great. I think Chad needs this belt. He needs to go on a legit Intercontinental Championship run. I think he would be the perfect person to maybe start doing, like, I feel like he's one of those people that might do an open challenge type situation. Like, really, like, redeeming himself against the guy that actually sent him down the rabbit hole into Lucha Libre and stuff. But in which I think him sending him down and him being the reason that he comes back up is a perfect, full circle storyline. I think Chad Gable absolutely deserves it. I mean, like, the man, like, look, he went from being totally just blah to going on this element. I still don't quite understand how people bought into it, but whatever they did. And he had a great run. That mask versus mask match, 10 out of 10. There was nothing wrong with that. That match was beautiful. Perfect. I mean, some of the side stuff I could have done without, but overall that match was like perfect. I think Chad needed to lose that match and, get his bearings back, and he's done that. I think that this will be a great ending. He'll be there in his hometown with his family in the audience. He'll be able to celebrate with them. And yes, this will be his redemption has come full circle. Now he goes on kind of like a redemption, just championship run. So I do agree. And I do agree that this very well could be this could be a 9. This could be a 9, definitely.
So we had the week opener in the ladder match. 2 strong matches, in my opinion. So what do you need next? You got to bring the funny. Human Money's on a pole match. Danhausen versus Dominic Mysterio.
Yeah.
This is primarily a comedy and entertainment match, right?
Yeah.
The real debate.
Dom's going to go for the pole, and something's going to go wrong, and he's going to end up falling. And yeah.
The real debate is whether this type of stipulation belongs at SummerSlam.
I don't.
To me, this shouldn't be on one of the big 4, big 5. Like this is one of your like throwaway fast lanes, or I don't know.
I think they needed. It was going too long. They needed to end it, and they didn't really. I mean, they could have done it. No, they did. They did Cat at Saturday Night Main Event, but I think this would be the one. I mean, just like I think they needed to. It's run its course, so I think they needed to end it, and this is a way for them to end it.
So Dominic can lose in humiliating fashion without losing any momentum, right? Because embarrassment often makes audiences hate him even more.
Mm-hmm.
So Dominic Mysterio is one of the only wrestlers who becomes more valuable every time something humiliating happens to him. So with that being said, I think Danhausen's going to win this one.
Very evil, very nice.
Of course, they're all been cursed. I think just like we will have seen from night 1, Judgment Day is going to get involved here, and it could be Liv getting back at him. But Judgment Day is going to cost Dominic in this match, and Dominic will continue to blame the curse. But this match is going to be weak sauce. I'm giving it a 4 out of 10.
Yeah, I mean, it's like literally, this is going to be that kind of the throwaway match. Danhausen definitely is going to be the favorite just because it's Danhausen, and like I told my brother, I was like, he's like, oh, he's so annoying. I was like, yeah, I didn't like the way he came, but bro, just go with. I told him, just go with it. He's funny, and I mean, and he actually has some decent stuff going on. So, but yeah, I think he ends up winning this match, and we can get out of this. They're gonna try and have to pay him to get uncursed, basically.
All right, out of 10.
Oh yeah, I agree with you. I think like 4.
All right,
actually, it might be even a 3.
Our penultimate match of SummerSlam: Trick Williams versus Baron Corbin.
So, yeah, I guess that was I miss it. Did I miss something somewhere? I mean, no, he came back and attacked him. Is that it? And then he got a title match?
There was something else that happened. I can't remember, but ultimately I can't remember if he had a match with Mello.
Yeah,
but either way,
no, I know Trick had a match with Mello, and then that's when Corbin came back.
I'm saying I think Corbin had a match with Mello and won.
Oh, okay. I'd have to double check that, but yeah, but you know what? I liked Baron Corbin, but when he was the that lone wolf character, and then like he went to that Happy Corbin, which was garbage, and then he was like Baron Corbin.
He was Sad Corbin.
Yeah, Sad Corbin, then Happy Corbin. Yeah, that was all. It was all booty. But like now he's just come back and he's just straight up. I'm gonna beat your ass in the. I'm gonna just beat you up. and that's it.
So Corbin's role, in my opinion, should be to give Trick a credible veteran opponent. Trick should leave the match looking more established than when he entered it. And this match should prove Trick Williams is ready for something bigger. But with all of that being said, I think the winner here is Trick Williams. I think he's going to survive the end of days and win cleanly.
Okay.
I think after this, Trick's going to move on to a larger rivalry. I don't know who, but it's going to be somebody big, somebody very serious, somebody very credible. I feel like this match, it's going to be better than a 5, but it's not going to be an 8. Yeah. So I'm putting it at like a 7.
Okay. No, actually, you know what? I think Trick needs to Trick has been on a great rise. I think he needs to, I think this could be a perfect time for him to kind of come back down, humble himself a little bit. So I think, and this would give Corbin, you know, just like a real big push on his way back in. So actually, I think Corbin could win this match very not easily. I think he's gonna. It's not gonna be just like, oh, I'm walking through you type situation. But I think Baron Corbin with a comeback, and I think he needs to win the championship, take the fur off of it, so we don't have to deal with that anymore. And then goes on, you know, a little run, but this sends Trick back down, humbles him a little bit, and then, you know, he works his way back up. Say hi to my brother.
I didn't know you were related to Donald Glover. Looks like Donald Glover ate Donald Glover. So what was your out of 10? I'm sorry.
Oh, I think this could be a 7.
7 out of 10?
Yeah, I think this could be like a high 6.
So if Trick loses here, what's next for him?
Oh, I think he has to he needs to like just kind of bring himself back down, humble himself a little bit, and maybe start looking for another championship. Not necessarily the US.
Is he going to kick Little Yachty to the curb, or?
No, I mean, I don't think Little Yachty's served his purpose. I don't think Little Yachty needs. Actually, I don't think he needs to even be there anymore. Honestly, right. I think he's almost. It's kind of he's outlived his purpose. It's cool having him there and whatever, but like, you know, all he does is sit outside the ring. He doesn't really do anything. He hasn't really got involved. He's gotten kicked out of a match once, which made 0 sense because it was a kendo stick hitting the stairs and then him falling. I was like, that doesn't sound like metal, ref. Like, come on, make it make sense. But whatever. But like, yeah, I think he's kind of served his purpose. And so, yeah, I think it needs to just be Trick on his own, lose clean, and him work his way back up, maybe going for another championship instead.
All right. Time for the main event.
Yeah.
Seth has always had a psychological advantage over Roman.
Right.
Roman has beaten nearly everyone, but Seth remains the person who knows how to manipulate him emotionally.
Yep. This
match needs a definitive finish. Another disqualification, no contest, or interference, heavy ending would feel unsatisfying.
Yeah.
Roman has beaten almost everyone, but until he beats Seth clean, Seth will always own part of Roman Reigns. With that being said, I'm going with Roman to win. He's going to counter the stomp into a spear and win cleanly. Roman finally gains closure over the opponent who has always been inside his head. And we can move on from this finally and hopefully never have to come back to it.
Until somebody's retiring.
Unless Dean Ambrose comes back, John Moxley, which I don't foresee happening. But if he did, then I'd be fine with them rehashing a Shield triple threat or something. But otherwise, I'm good with never seeing these two in the ring against each other ever again. I feel like this match, it's going to be good, but it's going to be long. It's going to be slow. I'm giving it a 7 out of 10.
Okay, I don't agree with you on the rating there. I think this is going to be a 8.5. I think they're going to put on one hell of a show, because they do actually genuinely. I think they genuinely have a respect for each other. So therefore, I think that makes for great matches. But yes, I think this needs to end. 100%. I agree with you on that. I believe Roman Reigns needs to win this one, and that will. I mean, in all honesty, I think he's already solidified his legacy, but I think this he has to win to truly solidify, and be done. 100%. I do agree. I think it'll be I think what's going to end up happening is going to be like going for a spear, goes for a spear, gets countered into a pedigree, kicks out. He gets ready to go for a stomp, moves out of the way, Superman punch, and spear, and I think that ends it.
What do you think's next for both of them then?
So yeah, I think somebody's. I think Seth Rollins can leave. I think he can go to SmackDown, and I don't think it would hurt him. I think he could go for. He can go for the championship over on SmackDown.
CM Punk again?
Oh yeah, no. I mean, well, we'll see. Truly. I mean, he can go for. Seth Rollins could pretty much do whatever he wants. I mean, I think at this point, I think he's kind of got the cred, so he could.
I think he goes away until Royal Rumble.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, because Becky Lynch has been gone, and so spend time with family. That's good. You need to do that. But I think Roman Reigns needs to beat Seth Rollins and end this thing, because it's been going on for way too long. And
I definitely think coming out of this, for Seth, I think he goes back up on the shelf for a little while, reemerges at Royal Rumble, and I think Reigns goes on to set up for Survivor Series with Oba, who still is owed a championship match.
Yeah, and I would love to see. I think a match Oba Reigns would be a great match. But yeah, I think this needs to. This needs to culminate. I think with Roman winning, of course. I think this will be a good match overall. But yeah, I think Roman Reigns has to win this match.
All right, are you ready for the lightning round?
Yeah, let's go.
All right, match of the weekend.
Oba Brock.
Really? Okay. I was gonna go with Finn Balor.
Okay.
Biggest title change.
I think Corbin getting the championship from Trick Williams. Because I mean, everything else is kind of I think CM Punk's going to stay. I think Io Sky's going to win, and I think Roman Reigns is going to win, and then Chad Gable. Yeah, so I mean, I don't think Chad Gable winning is a big surprise for me.
It's not. The question isn't biggest surprise. The question is biggest title change. Like, which one is going to be the most impactful?
Oh yeah, okay, then probably Gable.
What do you think the biggest surprise is going to be at SummerSlam?
I mean, honestly, I think somebody might come back. I'm hoping this will be like Stephanie Vaquer shows up or something, and kind of, or Naomi or somebody comes back and kind of helps Liv lose that championship.
Stephanie Vaquer could make sense. I could see that.
And I mean, and which Naomi had was she on Raw, or she was on Raw, right?
She was on SmackDown.
She was on SmackDown. Yeah, wherever she
had been on Raw at the end. I can't remember. She was on SmackDown.
Wherever she was, whatever championship she relinquished, she needs to kind of almost set herself up to get that back.
I don't know if it's time yet. Has it been 10 months, 12 months at this point?
I don't remember. I that's what I'm saying. If it's not Naomi, Vaquer needs to come back and because she's been gone since WrestleMania. So
I think the biggest surprise is probably going to be in the Bloodline match that we're going to get a new member.
Okay.
Most likely heel turn.
Cody.
Agreed. Most likely betrayal.
The Bellas.
Yeah,
On page.
I'll agree there. A surprise return. You kind of alluded. Do you have anything other than that?
No, I mean that's the one. That's the one me and my brother we've been like waiting for.
I think the biggest surprise return we're going to get is actually going to be on Monday night, which is going to be Enzo Amore.
Oh, is he coming back?
Big Cass is.
W. Soft.
What do you think the biggest?
Like he was kind of when they broke them up, that was kind of a joke. So they did that for a while, and they did that with teams. Like they let the bigger guy go, or they let the big guy try and go, and he would end up not doing well. And so it was like just keep them together.
What do you think the biggest disappointment's going to be?
That women's ladder match. Honestly, I think that might be
I agree.
Biggest disappointment.
Who leaves SummerSlam as the bigger star?
I mean, I think he's already a big star, but I think he leaves SummerSlam a bigger star as Oba Femi.
You think it's going to be even bigger?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, see, I think one of the negatives is that I don't know that he needs this to get bigger. I think
I know he doesn't. He's already
blown
big.
up. I can't explain it. I've never seen anyone take it as quickly.
Well, no, I know why. Because like the thing was, he kept the same persona from NXT into WWE. He didn't change a thing. And so that's the thing. That's one of the reasons I watch NXT. I like the guys over on NXT. Some of them I don't care for as much, but whatever. But like when they come up, depending on who they are, I'm already with them. They already got me. And if, a lot of these fans, if they are actually watching NXT, they already got them. You already got them. And so like, I think that I think this is make him bigger. I think, but if we're going to talk about somebody becoming bigger after this, I think this could be Chad Gable has been I think they've taken to him again, but I think he might be bigger with a win here. But if they do that, they need to do it right. Like don't have him. He doesn't need no Alpha Academy, no nothing like that. Just him on his own, and them going down the path. Side note: I need the Creed brothers to come back, and I need them to come back legit. I don't need them goofing off. I don't need them silly. I need them coming back like they were on NXT.
What's one single booking decision that could ruin the whole weekend?
Again, I think that ladder match.
You think that ladder match being booked poorly ruins the whole weekend?
No, I mean, not. It doesn't. I mean, it's just because everything else is. I mean,
see, in my head, I was expecting you to say Brock winning. That could ruin the weekend.
Oh, something like that. Oh, something like that. Oh, booking decision. Oh, yeah, no. If Brock were to win, I would be, me. I'd be.
Or if the bloodline helps Roman to win.
No, and that's the thing. I seriously doubt they're getting involved in this match.
But the question is, what one bad decision could be made that ruins the whole weekend?
Oh, okay. Actually, then I'll give you one for each night. I will say yes. If Oba loses that Hell in a Cell, that would be. I think that would just hamper everything. And then if, like you said, I think if Roman needs to win this one, he needs to win it on his own, because that's something that Seth said, you can't beat me on your own. And Roman has done multiple matches recently on his own. Like the match he had against CM Punk, no, there was no bloodline or anything like that. No Usos. Jacob wasn't with him at that point in time, but no Usos, so that was fine. So that needs to happen for this match. The only reason that anybody, and this would, I think would kind of ruin it, but if somebody comes out for some reason to help Seth, like an LA Knight or something tries to help Seth, and then the Usos get involved, but they don't actually interfere in it. Doesn't affect the outcome. Like they do a little spot out of the ring, and then they're done. They're out, go through the audience or back up the stage, something. But that match needs to end with those two on their own, one-on-one, no interference.
My final bold predictions. You tell me after I finish which one you think I'm wrong on, if any. Tell me when I'm telling lies.
Oh, sorry. So wait a minute. Is there no tag team match? Besides the women's tag team match, like the Vision isn't going up against. Oh, they need to go up against the Street Profits. Street Profits need to get those titles back. But anyways, beside the point. Go ahead.
Maybe that'll be addressed on Friday. Maybe they'll add another match. I don't know.
Maybe. Okay.
So my bold predictions. Tell me when I'm telling lies.
Okay.
CM Punk retains. Cody Rhodes begins moving towards a heel.
Good.
Io Sky wins the Women's World Championship. Oba Femi defeats Brock Lesnar.
Oh, I thought you were going to add Judgment Day starts to shatter because it needs to end. Judgment Day.
I don't think it's going to. It's the NWO, bro. It's going to keep going.
It's garbage. They're garbage. Anyway,
Charlotte Flair becomes interim champion. Finn Balor becomes #1 contender. Chad Gable wins the Intercontinental Championship.
Okay.
Roman Reigns finally defeats Seth Rollins.
Cool.
Which one's wrong?
I'm not convinced. I'm not 100% sold on the Charlotte Flair. Not 100% sold on that yet. But we'll see. We'll see.
All right. Well, we will return after SummerSlam and after Spider-Man next week to find out which theories and predictions made us look brilliant and which ones should never be mentioned again. When are you going to see Spider-Man?
Well, I'm trying to go tomorrow. They have it's a little bit more. It's a $40 thing, but it's you get like a commemorative poster, a pin, some other stuff. So I'm trying to go tomorrow, but I think I might not be able to, depending on how. I think Tianka's mom goes in for surgery tomorrow, so I might not be able. I might have to wait till the weekend or something.
I am going. I've already got my ticket Friday morning.
Okay.
8:30 Friday morning.
Oh, okay, yeah, cool.
So I will.
We'll wait and talk about it on Wednesday.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
You got anything else fun and or exciting going on coming up?
No, I'm just been trying to communicate with these theater companies in Hawaii, just trying to get the last little bit of casting out of the way. For Secrets of Hawaiian Mermaid, I need to get that information from you about current stuff, and then we will be able to. We'll start.
Yeah, today was the cutoff for NDAs. I still haven't gotten yours, by the way.
Because you don't. I thought I sent you mine. I signed it and sent it to you.
You sure about that?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I sent it. I just I signed it and sent it off to you. Although you don't really need mine because, again, I understand why you need it, but I think I sent it to you anyways. But that's beside the point. But yeah, I think I just need all that stuff. And then, like I said, I'm communicating, trying to get some of these last pieces. I'm still waiting on somebody to get back to me, but we might just have to move on. Which kind of disappoints me, but at the same time, I can't continue to wait. But yeah, I think we're getting almost to a spot where I would like to start getting some of these recordings done.
Well, that's what I was going to say is tomorrow, one of my objectives is to go through. Everyone was supposed to give me their signed NDAs by today. So I could go through, validate who all got them to me, and then I can send you that list of those people with, their contact info and everything, and as well as their availabilities, and you can start getting them scheduled or whatever. And then I'll also send out the scripts and director's notes and all of that. But I couldn't send that out until after the NDAs came in.
Yeah, I just need. Did you finish up getting the rest of? I think there was only 2 or 3 more scripts of season 1 that needed to be in there, and we got to get the cast in. We got to get some of the cast in there because we don't have everybody yet. So
what are you talking about?
we need to get the cast on those finalized scripts, don't we?
No, I'm not adding them there. I will email them to them.
Okay, cool. No, I'm talking and the scripts itself, because for the credits.
I'm not adding anyone on there until the casting's finalized for everything.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to keep going back and forth and adding one person.
No, I understand. No, it makes sense. Okay, cool. So basically we'll just kind of wait on the credits then once we get to
that's exactly what I was gonna say.
And then basically what I need, but you just need to get the last of the season 2 scripts in there as well, just so we have them in there. It's not like we're going to get into them right away, but I want to try and knock out some of the smaller stuff, the characters that have small stuff throughout.
And again, I think, this is an opportunity to start having some people, like, I will probably do like some of my stuff self-recording and send it to you, and then if you need me to do something different, we can do that.
Okay.
But to me, where we can, we should try and get as much self-recording done.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, that makes sense. So let's start. Once we get that stuff done, let's get it start going, and we'll be good.
Cool. You got anything else?
No, I'm good. Have a good night, everybody. See you next week.